Well, the Florida Gators are in their second straight New Year's Six Bowl. This time it's the Orange Bowl against ACC opponent Virginia. Can they make it two in a row? Two New Year's Six Bowl wins in a row. Can the Gators do it? Yeah, they can. Dan Mullen can win bowl games, but divisions or conferences, well, that's a different story. Hey, good morning and that. It's Uncle Lou here. Yeah, that's right. It's me, Uncle Lou, and I'm live for you on LouTube today. Thanks for watching. Man, I sure do appreciate it also. And in addition to that as well, subscribe to this channel if you're not already. I post college football videos almost every single day of the year. And a lot of times, they're even watchable. I don't know about this one. Sometimes the videos are only as good as the subject matter. So I'll leave that up to you. Let me know down in the comments below. Is this video watchable? Are any of these bowl games watchable? But we are going to cover some bowl games today, preview and prediction time. Now, I've done a whole host of these preview videos already, including the college football semifinal playoff games taking place tomorrow night, Saturday. The LSU versus Oklahoma and Clemson versus Ohio State. Click back a video or two if you haven't seen those yet and you want to check them out. In today's video, I already mentioned I'm going to do the Orange Bowl, which is Florida versus Virginia. Also going to do the Cotton Bowl, another New Year's Six Bowl, Memphis and Penn State. Is Memphis the new UCF? Can they knock off a Power 5 team in a New Year's Six Bowl like UCF did to the Barn a couple of years ago? We'll find out. I'm going to preview all the games that are taking place on Saturday and Monday. There are no games on Sunday, no college football games on Sunday. That's NFL day, so out of respect, I guess, college doesn't schedule any bowl games on that day. But we've got some games Saturday, some games Monday. Going to cover all those with the exception of the playoff game Saturday, which, like I mentioned, I've already done, and we're going to do that right now. All right, as usual, all the numbers that I use in this video, the lines, the odds, the over-unders, the totals, the spreads, all that kind of stuff, came straight from the website over at betnow.eu, and it's accurate as of about 9:30 a.m. this morning. This is the second year in a row I've been good enough to, or lucky enough to work with the good people over at betnow.eu. They've given me a promo code to let you guys use too. So if you haven't signed up on betnow.eu yet, do that now. There's a link in the description of this video. Just click that link. It'll take you over there. Get signed up. Enter the promo code Uncle Lou. That's one word, Uncle Lou, and they're going to give you a bonus on whatever money you deposit. Good luck. All right, here we go. Let's start with the Saturday games. Two games we're going to preview on Saturday. Today, there's 4 games, but the other 2 are playoff games. I've already done those. So Saturday, 12 o'clock, ABC, Iowa State versus Notre Dame in the Camping World Bowl. What an amazing accomplishment for Iowa State and Notre Dame. Notre Dame had a pretty good year. Who'd they lose to? Oh, yeah, Georgia. But they lose to Georgia every time. They're winless against Georgia, 0-3. Congratulations, Notre Dame. Keep up the good work. They're a 3.5-point favorite over Iowa State in the Camping World Bowl. Again, Saturday, 12, ABC. I like Notre Dame in this one. I'm just not a believer in Iowa State. And, you know, yeah, we make all the jokes here because there's some Big 12 people who say, oh, man, Iowa State's the most difficult place in America to play. Well, I can guarantee you that the Camping World Bowl is not in Ames, Iowa, or anywhere in Iowa for that matter. Is Notre Dame a great team this year? No. But they're pretty good. They lost to Georgia. They lost to Michigan. Sort of rolled through the rest of their schedule. Close to making a New Year's Six Bowl. Some people thought maybe they would get in at the 10-2. I think losing to the 2 best teams they played maybe kept them out. Yeah, even at 10-2, I don't think kept them out. It's the fact that they lost to the 2 best teams they played. If they'd have beat either Georgia or Michigan, I think they could have lost to even a lesser team after that, still finished 10-2, and maybe would have got in with a nice quality win there. But losing to those 2 teams, I think, really hurt them. They wind up in the Camping World Bowl this year after making the college football playoff last year, right? Losing to Clemson in round 1. So Iowa State, Notre Dame, I think Notre Dame is the better team here. 3.5. I don't think that's enough. Iowa State is okay. I like their quarterback and their coach. I love their coach, Matt Campbell. I'm shocked he's still at Iowa State. I can't believe a bigger name program hasn't come and swiped him out from Iowa State yet. I mean, he says, you know, I love Iowa State. I want to stay here. He signs the extension, all that. But let's be real. All coaches do that until an offer comes along that is, you know, I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. You know, the old Godfather thing. Somebody's going to make Matt Campbell an offer he can't refuse at some point. So nothing against Iowa State here. I'm no Notre Dame fan. That's pretty well documented by this point, but I do think Notre Dame wins this game, and I'm going to lay the 3.5. All right, also at 12 o'clock on Saturday, this one's on ESPN, the Cotton Bowl, New Year's Six Bowl, the Memphis Tigers. Great year this year. Take on Penn State, and Penn State's a 7-point favorite, the Cotton Bowl. Penn State, how good is Penn State? How good is the Big Ten East? I think the Big Ten East is really, really good. Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State, a couple other teams in there pretty good too. In the West, of course, Wisconsin and Minnesota. I think Penn State's a pretty good team. Lost to the majority of the good teams they played this year, though. Let's just be real. They lost to Ohio State. They lost to Minnesota, wasn't it? Lost to Iowa, I believe. Did they lose? No, they might have beat Iowa. That was that weird 10-3 game. Anyway, you got to win some of these games, Penn State. I do like Penn State. Again, a situation where I love their coach. I think James Franklin is the type of guy, type of coach that gets the absolute most out of the talent he has available. He's similar to Matt Campbell in that way. Look at what James Franklin did at Vanderbilt before getting this job at Penn State. It was nothing short of a miracle what he did there. And he's gotten Penn State really, really close to the playoffs multiple times. Top 10 rankings throughout a couple of different seasons for James Franklin, some trips to the Rose Bowl. So some success at Penn State for James Franklin, still sort of reaching for that ultimate success of a Big Ten title and making the playoffs. They come up a little bit short this year, but they do land in a New Year's Six Bowl, the Cotton Bowl against Memphis. Memphis is the Group of 5 team this year, right? It's been UCF the last couple of years. They sort of took a step back this year, losing a few games people really didn't see coming. Everybody wondered who's going to be the team that steps in and sort of takes the place for UCF in this New Year's Six Bowl. It ends up being Memphis. It came down to a few teams at the end. SMU had a good run. Temple had a good run. Cincinnati had a good run. Boise State had a good run. Memphis ends up the highest ranked Group of 5 team in the final college football playoff ranking that came out after conference championship games in which Memphis beat Cincinnati. They therefore earn the right to participate in the New Year's Six Bowl this year, and they draw Penn State in the Cotton Bowl. I like Memphis in this game. I said in the offseason, I spent a lot of time talking about Penn State in the offseason heading into the season because I really liked their pieces, but I thought they were a year away. I kept referring to Penn State this year as a transitional year, not a rebuilding year, but a transitional year. They, of course, lost Saquon a couple of years ago. Then they lost the guy that replaced Saquon. Last year, they lost their quarterback heading into this year. They had a young defense, a good defense, some serious talent. Micah Parsons is an elite player on that defensive side of the ball. They had some pieces at wide receiver, but just overall, a little bit young, a little bit inexperienced. They actually exceeded what I thought they would do this year, Penn State did. And they're going to be a dangerous team next year. But I think Memphis comes in and gets the win here in the Cotton Bowl. This is their Super Bowl, right? If you're a Group of 5 team, this is the pinnacle for you. It can't get any higher, right? We saw UCF pull off what some people consider to be an upset against Auburn a couple of years ago. Lost last year to LSU in a similar situation. This is Memphis' first trip here in this New Year's Six Bowl since the playoff era began, and they sort of instituted these rules guaranteeing the Group of 5 a spot in a New Year's Six Bowl. I think Memphis comes out and wins this game. I think it's going to be close. I want the 7 points here just in case I'm wrong, but I think this will be a close game either way. I wouldn't take Penn State -7. I'm going to take Memphis +7. If you're a little bit higher even than me on Memphis, you can consider playing Memphis on the money line and make yourself some extra money should they win. I'm going to take the 7 points, though. Give me Memphis. Okay, I'm not going to waste much time on this one. Monday, 12:30 ESPN, Western Michigan versus Western Kentucky. First Responders Bowl. First Responder Bowl. First person to watch this game needs to be responded to. There's no reason to watch. What are you doing? Western Michigan, unless you went to one of these schools or you live in the town or your nephew plays for them or something. Western Kentucky's a 3-point favorite. Give me Western Michigan. Pull off the upset, though. All right, Monday, 4 o'clock. Fox, Illinois versus Cal. The Red Box Bowl. You'd be better off going to the Red Box, closing your eyes, and picking a random movie than you would be sitting home and forcing yourself to watch 3.5 hours of Illinois versus Cal in the Red Box Bowl, 4 o'clock Monday on Fox. Cal's a 6.5-point favorite. The Pac-12 is a trash can in general. Illinois... I joke a lot on it. I say, ask people to name all the teams in the Big Ten. If you ask 100 people to name every team in the Big Ten, about 90 of them won't name Illinois. But they exceeded my expectations this year by just getting bowl eligible. And you know what? I'm going to take them in this game. I'm not a believer in the Pac-12. Now, Cal did have a couple of wins this year that made me go, what in the world? How'd they pull that off? I'm not taking them in the bowl game, though. I don't trust the Pac-12 against these other Power 5 teams. Give me Illinois and those 6.5 points in that. All right, also 4 o'clock at Monday, ESPN, Mississippi State versus Louisville in the Music City Bowl, and Mississippi State's a 4.5-point favorite in this one. And you know what? I'm taking Louisville. To me, this is a case study in polar opposites. Mississippi State head coach Joe Moorhead. I ain't impressed, Jack. I've been talking about this for a couple of years. I thought they may even let him go at the end of this year, or Moorhead may actually quit and pursue quote-unquote greener pastures. He hasn't been very well received there, in my opinion. I have heard from a few Mississippi State fans who support him, but generally when I hear from the Mississippi State fans who support Joe Moorhead, the conversation usually goes something like this. Well, I think we got to give him a little bit more time. I really don't hear anybody, not Mississippi State fans, not even Joe Moorhead fans, trying to convince me that Joe Moorhead has done a great job at Mississippi State. Louisville, on the other hand, I think is headed in the right direction. And I'm not prepared to sit here and tell you today that Louisville is fixing to challenge Clemson for the ACC title next season. But they're a team to keep an eye on. I really like their new coaching staff. They brought these coaches in from, was it App State? Satterfield, is that who it was? I really like what Louisville is doing. Now, they need to pick up the recruiting a little bit, but winning is going to help that. I think Louisville wins this game and goes into 2020 with some serious momentum. Again, I'm not here to try to tell anybody Louisville is going 11-1 or beating Clemson or even winning the division next year. We'll get to all that in the late spring, early summer when we start to do the previews. But I am here to tell you that in my opinion, these are two programs that are headed in different directions as a direct result of coaching hires. I'm not a believer in Moorhead. I do like what Louisville has going on with their coaching staff. Mississippi State's a 4.5-point favorite. I think that's backwards. I think Louisville should be the favorite here. Give me the Cardinal to win outright. All right, and up last, Monday, New Year's Six Bowl, Orange Bowl, 8 o'clock, ESPN, Florida Gators versus the Virginia Cavaliers. Is Virginia the second best team in the ACC? Maybe. I know they won their division before getting mollywopped by Clemson. I don't think there is a second best team in the ACC. I'm just going to be honest. I think there's Clemson, and then I think there's about 5 other teams. You can put their names in a hat, shake it up, pick any one of those teams out, and you could convince me they're the second best team. The problem is the second best team doesn't even deserve to be ranked in the ACC. The ACC right now is absolutely pitiful. Now, the main reason for that, obviously, is Miami and Florida State. Those are 2 of the schools that the ACC usually counts on to prop them up in football, and they're both in the toilet, and they're drowning. They're like turds that won't flush. They're just circling the bowl. People still under the impression, especially with Miami, that there's some kind of elite program. They're not. Florida State, at least, I think, has the potential to get back to that sometime in the next 2 or 3 years. Miami doesn't. They're done. Don't even pay attention to Miami for the foreseeable future. Save yourself the headache. But Virginia, congrats on winning the division. Congrats on beating Virginia Tech for the first time since the iPhone's been invented. You're not beating this game. You're not winning here. You're not beating Florida. Florida's a 14.5-point favorite. Florida is going to roll here. They destroyed Michigan last year in a similar game. Virginia is just outclassed and outmatched in this game. Now, I like Virginia's quarterback. I even like Virginia's coach. And Virginia's defense has got some good pieces too, and they're scrappy, and they will hit you. They're not keeping up with Florida offensively. This will be one of the best defenses Virginia has played. I know they played Clemson. Florida's got a good defense too. All Virginia has is that Bryce Perkins, and as much as I like him and as fun as it is to watch Bryce Perkins play, and I do love watching Bryce Perkins play, they don't have enough on offense to come close to winning this game. I think Florida will roll. Florida could, in theory, win this game by as many points as they want to. We'll see if Dan Mullen wants to lay it on thick here or if he sort of feels sorry for him in the second half, but I think it's going to be that kind of situation for Virginia. It's a shame, I think, that some of these bowl games are contractually obligated to select teams from certain conferences. There is no team in the ACC outside of Clemson that deserves to be anywhere near a New Year's Six bowl. Not a single one. I'm no ACC hater. I think Clemson's one of the best teams in America. I'm not one of these people that says, oh, Clemson ain't paid nobody. That's why the only reason they're in the playoff. No, Clemson in the playoff because they're an elite team. And the argument can be made they're the best program in all of college football right now. The rest of the ACC is complete and utter garbage and trash. And to be honest, this is a huge problem with the bowl system right now in general. There's way too many of them. That's the main problem. And the second problem is these bowls should not be contractually obligated to take teams from certain conferences. There are lots of teams that didn't get a New Year's Six game that are way better than Virginia. Way better. The Rose Bowl, contractually obligated to take a Pac-12 and a Big Ten team, regardless of if they deserve it or not. The Sugar Bowl, contractually obligated to take an SEC team, whether they deserve it or not. And the Orange Bowl, stuck here with Virginia. And this makes absolutely no sense at all. No disrespect to Virginia. I think Virginia had a pretty good year for what they are. They do not deserve to be anywhere near a New Year's Six bowl. They just don't. No one in the ACC does outside of Clemson. You're going to get destroyed. Give me the Gators, lay to 14.5. All right, that's it. That takes care of all the preview and predictions for every single bowl game now up through Monday. So we'll start again maybe tomorrow or Sunday on the bowl games taking place on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That'll include, of course, the Sugar Bowl featuring my Georgia Bulldogs. Spoiler alert. They're going to get mollywopped by Baylor. Whee! I can't wait to read all the types on that one. But anyway, so I've previewed all the bowl games up through Monday, right? So in the next day or two, I'll release the next set of preview videos, which will cover New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. I really appreciate you guys watching. We're going to do the live show tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. to Watch with Lou College Game Day call-in show, so tune in for that. We do it every Saturday during the season. I take phone calls and we talk about the day's games. And since we've got some good games tomorrow, including the college football playoffs, which I didn't even talk about in this video because I previewed both of those games yesterday in separate videos. You can click back a video or two and check those out. But a lot of good games tomorrow. So we'll do the call-in show 9 a.m. tomorrow, Saturday morning. You guys tune in, give me a call. Let me know what you think about these games and the college football playoff games. Appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you again real soon. Have a good morning.